Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Look, I'm going to do a facial expression here, right? Do you know what that represents? That's me being mischievous, all right? Because I'm going to get political. Not that I'm stirring the pudding, but I am, okay? Because I know that some of you hate it when I mention anything political, and some of you immediately start assuming you know what I think or what I don't think, or what how ignorant I am or how wise I am, even though you've never talked to me about any of these subjects. You just make assumptions, But at the risk of all that, I'm going to withhold my opinion on this matter, and I'm going to defer to the great intellectual that is Mr. Ryan Garcia. Because Mr. Garcia, he of the drinking beer at the weigh-in and talking like he's away with the fairies or he's all weeded up or whatever, but he's not happy with President Trump. No, 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 President Trump, naughty Mr. President Trump, says Mr. Garcia. And this is to do with the immigration protests in Los Angeles recently. And Garcia has spoken out in favour of the protesters, which might surprise some of you, because Garcia in the past has been very vocal in his support of President Trump and voted for him, unashamedly voted for him. Now, of course, for those that don't follow the news, what's been happening is that there was this organisation. This is really for people who are not American. Obviously, I'm British, but there's an organisation called a branch of government, essentially, called the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the head of it is a guy called Todd Lyons, and he's leading the pack in getting rid of illegal immigrants, arresting them, deporting them, and so on and so forth. And according to Mr. Lyons, they've been averaging about 1,600 arrests each day. And he's quite chuffed about this because Trump was elected because of his, strong anti-illegal immigration stance. Okay, he says, I've only got it in for the illegal immigrants. And Mr. Lyons has said they're merely targeting dangerous criminals. Okay. Now, the flip side of that, just to give the opposite side of the argument, is that although a lot of these immigrants have lived in the US without any proper documentation, so they are by proxy illegal, they've led productive lives for a number of decades and their families are there and so on and so forth. So uprooting them and slinging them out is, actually counterproductive to their communities. All right. So what did Ryan Garcia say about this? He said, I may have voted for Trump, but I can't stay silent about what's happening with ICE in LA. These aren't just illegals or statistics, they're people, hardworking immigrants, especially Mexicans who pay taxes, raise families, build our communities, and are part of the people we love. Ripping them away from their homes is not just policy, it's pain. We can have borders without losing our humanity. Okay? And again, I'm going to hold off from giving my opinion, saying whether I agree with him or not. But then he's not the only one who's been speaking out about this, because the lightweight contender, Giovanni Cabrera, has also been quite vocal. In fact, he was in the protest. He actually went there and, to protest. He says peacefully. He's claiming that most of the protesters were peaceful. Again, I'm not going to get into that. You can argue one way, yay or nay, but there were, I think, over 40 arrests in LA on Friday. This was last Friday, of course, nearly a week ago now. But he was amongst those engaged in the activism, what he calls activism. And he said the police began to push protesters back. And when one protester stuck his hand out in defense, the police officer started to beat him with his baton. Then they tear gassed us and started shooting rubber bullets. The guy next to me was shot in the jaw, neck and arms, bleeding on my arm, and the blood dripped onto his shoe, says Cabrera. And he goes on to say every single American should be ashamed of what's happening in the country right now, the terrorizing of Latino communities. He said this on Instagram, apparently. We're the backbone of this country. We grow your food, we serve you your food, we fix your cars, we work the fields, we fight, we do everything. We keep this shit going. America would be nothing without its immigrants, and this is what you voted for. Is everyone okay with this fascist behaviour from our government? This is fucked up. So says Mr. Cabrera, who, if you're not aware of him, he's far less known than Ryan Garcia, but he was last seen getting stopped in 3 by William Zepeda. He also went the distance. I think he lost a split decision. It was a close one against Pitbull Cruz. So he's a lightweight contender. Anyway, I just thought I'd do this little video. No doubt some of you are going to find it terribly controversial, but I'm looking forward to all. I'm just going to get your popcorn ready. I'm going to be munching away watching the fucking comments come in, and all the thumbs up and the thumbs down and all the rest of it. But yeah, look, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up or hit the thumbs down or hit them both, but hit the thumbs down first and subscribe to the channel if you're new. What do you think? Do you agree with Ryan? I mean, come on, it's a stupid question, really, because if you like Trump, you're going to probably disagree with Ryan, and if you don't like Trump, you're going to agree with him. But I don't know. I would be, all joking aside, and I am making light of something that's actually a very serious subject. But if you are in LA and you've seen the riots and you're part of that community, I'd be very interested to hear your opinions. So please feel free to give, a sensible, objective view. I'll be very interested. I'm all ears. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you later. Bye for now.